Sydnie Wells. How are you?
Woo, I'm so excited to be on here. Hunter and I could not decide when the perfect time would be because our schedules are so busy traveling, um, doing a bunch of fun stuff. But here we are. Finally, I'm excited to be on.
Yeah. It feels like we've been talking for a while. You've been doing some amazing things, so glad to have you on and talk about those things. For those of you who don't know, Sydnie Wells, she's probably one of the most influential women hunters in the industry. She travels, she hunts, she kills big game animals, and she's just phenomenal. And like you said, you've been doing some travels and doing some bow fishing. How's that been for you?
Oh, it's been so much fun. I have been able to travel all summer long, shooting spoonbill, carp of all species. Just been traveling and having fun. It's my favorite thing to do in the summertime. So it's been fun. A lot of practice, yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, I mean, your stories and everything on Instagram just looks phenomenal. If you don't already, make sure you go give Sydnie Wells a follow on Instagram and all of her other medias. Where can they find you at, Sydnie?
So you guys can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, on Tim Wells Bow Hunter YouTube currently, but I am about to launch my own YouTube series. So be prepared to look out for that. I will make announcements on all other social media platforms, but I'm super excited.
Yeah, and I'm excited for you. I've kind of done some of the YouTube stuff before. I know what that's like. It's definitely a journey, and all hats off to you for doing that. What kind of led you to deciding to do that? Like that's a big step for you, and that's really exciting.
So for YouTube, I mean, I've grown up on Relentless Pursuit TV on the Sportsman's Channel, and I'm actually going to be on the Outdoor Channel here shortly. So that's a new surprise. Everybody be prepared for an announcement for that too. But YouTube's always up and growing. Everybody loves YouTube. So I'm on my dad's YouTube channel, and I'm like, heck, why not? I graduated college. It's time for me to spread my wings and do my own thing. Everybody asks, hey, when are you going to get on YouTube? When are you going to get on YouTube? I'm like, I'm going to get on. But I mean, finally, I need to do it. So I've done it. I
Yeah.
got footage gathered, and we're going to launch it. I'm excited.
That's awesome. Really looking forward to seeing that content. Like you said, you just finished up college. You're a college student, which is incredible. You were studying nursing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just graduated this past year with my BSN.
Wow. So congrats on that. How was that for you, like studying and then being a college student so heavily involved in the outdoors? For those of you who don't know, Sydney's, like I said, one of the most influential women in the industry. She has a huge following. Seems like you're always traveling, hunting and fishing and really trying to get others in the outdoors. So I was just curious to know, like, what was that like through going through your nursing program and everything like that?
Yeah. So college was a lot of fun. I went to a liberal arts college in central Illinois, and a lot of people are from Chicago. So they're a lot kind of different lifestyle than I am from, small little town in the middle of nowhere. I went into a sorority, so that was fun. I actually loved it. It was the best time. I met the best friends. I was in nursing, and I was about an hour and a half from home. So I wasn't able to hunt and fish as much as I'd liked, but literally every weekend or during the weekdays, if I had a little bit of spare time, I would head home, do some fishing, do some hunting. I mean, I would travel, my parents would be like, hey, we're going to go to Kentucky. Hey, we're going to Nashville. Hey, we're going to Texas. Meet us there. Get in my truck, drive by myself, or even bring some of my sorority sisters just because they've never seen the stuff that I do. And they'd be like, hey, let me try this out. I want to see. So you can only
Wow.
imagine what that was like. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were like, oh, what is this? I'm like, it's a fishing pole.
that's so awesome.
No,
I bet they
they
loved it too.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun. It was just fun, like showing them. Obviously, there's some things that are like, I don't know if I like that, but they would try, and it was just pretty cool to get some people into the outdoors. Like I took one of my guy friends, he's from Chicago, and I took him fishing, and now he like does it all the time on his own. Like
Mhm.
it's a lot of fun, like getting people out into the outdoors and experiencing things that they may have never experienced just because they didn't grow up in it. It's like I experienced new things going up to Chicago and seeing those kind of things. So it's fun. I enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of what led me to creating this podcast, and myself kind of have a similar background as you did in college, right? I created a fly fishing club at our school, and I just taught so many people fly fishing and got them involved in the outdoors, and was really like one of my favorite things like that I've done in college for sure. It's
Yeah,
just like
that's like something that you'll never forget too. It's like, yeah, back then, like when you're older and you can tell your kids, like, I did this and it's still like up and running.
yeah. There's a lot of your friend like people that you introduced to the outdoors. Do you guys still get together and go fishing and all that kind of stuff?
Oh
Or was
yeah.
it like yeah,
No, yeah, they'd always like, "Can I come?" Like my friend Alexis, she is the funniest person, and she'd be my little buddy, honestly. Like we went to Kentucky together, we went up to Wisconsin together. She would come bow fishing with me all the time, and honestly, she would just like sit in the back and enjoyed it, just even watching. And she would like videotape, and she would try it, but she enjoyed it because she's never got to see it. So she's like, "Can I please come? I would love to. Like, I don't get to do this often." So I'm about 3.5 hours from most of my girlfriends, or they're all over the place, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan. So,
yeah.
but we try to get together, we do, and it's fun.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome. What was it like for you being in college, having this huge following? Was it like different, or did everyone know like, hey, there's Sydnie Wells, like there she is, the famous hunt and fishing girl, or was it a little bit different?
Well, it depends. Like I honestly like going into college, like I don't going into every single day, like just going to different places. I never be like, oh, I'm Sydnie from Instagram or I'm Sydnie from, hunting. Like I'm a normal person. And so going into college, like I was like, oh, I'm a new freshman. Like I don't know anybody. Nobody knows me. But it's really funny because one of my best friends, my guy friends, he's a big hunter and he told me at senior year, he's like, I knew who you were freshman year. Like
Mhm.
I watched you grow up on the Sportsman's Channel and like we're best friends. Like he's like, you were like, you're just one of my friends. Like you're
Yeah,
not any different. Like it wasn't any like different, I just was myself. Like I never had that chip on my shoulder,
right. And that's why I
but
was like
yep, yeah,
so excited to have you on the shows because just through talking through, social media and like texting you and stuff, getting ready for our podcast shows, like you're probably like one of the most genuine people that I've met in the industry. And I think like you're just so authentic and genuine, and it really shows like in the content that you produce and the way that you like carry yourself. And, that's really something to be proud of. And it definitely shows like through everything that you do.
yeah. Well, I really, really appreciate that. I try to be like, as real as I can be because I'm not better than anybody else. I just love the outdoors, and I'm just like really thankful that people do love to follow what I do. Love to follow, my life. I just, it's just a glimpse of it too. So it's more of like I'm grateful, and my like the people that like quote unquote my fans are more like my buddies, like they're my friends. Like
Yeah.
they'll just like we didn't know each other. You got on my live, and you're like, hey Sid, I like what you do when I go on the
Yeah.
podcast, and now like we'll FaceTime, be like, hey Hunter,
What's going on?
when are we gonna
How's
do
the
this
fishing? Yeah.
podcast? Yeah.
So,
Even though I'm a busy bee, I'm so sorry. You know me. I'm like, oh
oh
Hunter.
yeah. Well, that's what I was saying before we got on. It's like I feel like I've probably never met someone as busy as you, but I can definitely relate now that I'm in the middle of my other business startup that's been 2 years in the making, and it's just like wow, it's just like a lot going on right now. So I'm so happy we got to get on real quick and
Yeah.
do
How's
this
that going?
episode.
Is that exciting? Like,
Yeah, it's so exciting. I'm just like going through the motions. We're launching a Kickstarter campaign here, shooting for the September launch, and we have all the right team behind us. We have Kickstarter agency, marketing team, graphic design team, and it's really coming together. So just be prepared for that for you guys out there listening, and it's gonna be awesome.
yeah,
So
this is gonna be insane, guys. So you better like, stay tuned because I'm excited for Hunter.
yeah, hopefully we'll be cleaning up plastic pollution on a large scale, and we can really unite this movement throughout the outdoor industry and get all of our fellow conservationists behind this and really start like cleaning up our earth environment. So really excited about it.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. Everybody's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I've never seen something like this. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm hoping
It's gonna go
so.
crazy.
Maybe if we'll see what happens. Maybe I can get you a product here soon. We're getting a final prototype soon, so I'll be sure to
Mhm.
send some your
Me
way.
too. You
Yeah,
really
it'll
do.
be really awesome. So something I want to ask you, Sydnie, was something that a few people, that I talked to, I was like, hey, Sydnie Wells, come on the podcast. They're like, hey, you got to ask her about her bear hunt. I think it was, I'm not really, really sure where it was at. I think it was Alberta. I think you were
Mhm.
younger
Yeah.
and you were faced off with the black bear. Bears all around you. I think they were eating a beaver or something. Like, what was
Uh-huh.
that like for you at that age when you were just getting into the outdoors?
So I like, coming up to Canada my parents, the guy's like, yeah, they can, they maul people sometimes, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, 14 years old, freaked me out even more. And we spotted this bear, my dad and I. And if you followed me, you'll see that we love to spot and stalk animals. That's like our favorite. That's our go-to, So we're like, okay, let's do it. We were trying to call him into us.
Wow.
And when we did, another bear came in, actually. It was a smaller bear, and it scared the crap out of me. It
Really?
came to us, sniffed us, walked away. And then we saw this big boar, so we were going.
Right.
And I was about 25 yards, hid behind some trees. The bear didn't see me. My dad said, okay, go, you got it. We don't carry guns on us. We just have my bow. That's the only weapon, primary weapon. My dad's 15 yards behind me filming. I'm about 15, 25 yards from the bear. And I just let her have it. It had the bear moan and everything. It was awesome. It was scary. The next day, a bear climbed the tree with me. And that's when I was like,
Oh
oh,
my God.
I don't know if I can do this anymore. But I want
Yeah.
to shoot a grizzly bear. So I got to learn to man up, because if I'm scared of black bear, I'm going to be really scared of grizzly bear, but I'm going to do it.
I
That's
mean,
bucket list for sure.
yeah, that's definitely on the bucket list, but it definitely says something. I mean, that black bear hunt, I watched it and I was like, man, I just don't know if I could, do that kind of hunt. Like that was really something. Like, do you feel like any like life-threatening encounters like on that hunt or in any of your
I
hunts?
mean, honestly, like, I was the hunter, so
Yeah.
I had faith in myself too. I mean, of course it was nerve wracking. I mean, like, you're surrounded, you're in the middle of nowhere. Like, one, you could get lost very easily. So when we were trying to track my bear, we made sure we had like a little bit of like cotton or something that we put on
Hmm.
the trees, to tag the trees so we could follow them. The only time I really felt like, oh my goodness, I'm kind of nervous, is my dad and I did get lost. We were walking and we're trying to find the bear. And so instead of keep walking in, timber that you're not familiar with, like, we just sat and waited for the 4-wheeler, because we called,
Right.
the guide. But that was the only time, because you could just see the bears. They were just walking right around you. You're like, oh my goodness, all we have was my bow. So one, I better not miss and make a bear all mad at me and run after me. So, but no, I'm the hunter.
Yeah.
I was faced with a challenge, and I was very confident in myself, just growing up, knowing how to, hunt these different species and how to, treat the animals, not intimidate them.
Right.
So yeah, it was scary for sure. I mean, it's something new for me. I could definitely do it again. I know, what to
Yeah.
do, but yeah.
It's definitely on my bucket list to do an archery bear hunt like that. Spot and stock definitely would be a different experience and something I think I want to do. What else is on your bucket list and what have you all accomplished? Like, I know you're a very accomplished hunter and you've hit a lot of big game species already that most hunters haven't even thought about going after in their life.
Yeah. So, growing up, I'm very, very grateful for my experiences. Just my dad, Tim Wells, he is a avid bow hunter, spear hunter, all the above, and that's how I really got into the
Right.
outdoors. Since I was little, I loved to fish. Turkey hunting was my favorite when I was little,
Yeah.
like 8 years old. My favorite, and but like I mean, I've been all over the country. I've been to South America. I went to Argentina, shot doves. That was insane. You need to go do that, Hunter, because
Really?
it was literally crazy. We would shoot with our guns, with our bows. You see them.
Yeah, I saw you doing the birds and the bow thing. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was hard on my shoulder. Holy crap!
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I got one out of the 150 times I shot. I'm happy.
What did you just go to like a archery range and like, hey, I need all the arrows you guys got? Like,
Well, we just, we call, the company. So any company that with flus that you want, call up like, okay, send me about 1,000 flu arrows, because we're going to be shooting them at birds, and we might lose some, we might not.
yeah.
But yeah, so you shoot your arrows. Okay, you're out of arrows. Now we all go clean them up and go pick them up, and
Oh, so
we
that's
go
the end of
back
the
to
hunt.
our tree or our blind, wherever you're sitting, and
Yeah. Keep going.
you just keep going, and then you do it
Wow.
all over again until you get tired. And you're like, okay, I'm tired of this now. I need
Yeah.
a break. But yeah, it was so much fun. That
Oh, I
was
bet.
Yeah, that was awesome. I feel like, but it was kind of like a one and done for me. I'm like, okay, I experienced it.
And that, yeah.
Yeah, like it
Let's
was
do
really
something
cool.
else.
It was really,
Yeah.
really
Oh
good,
yeah.
cool experience, and the food was phenomenal.
Oh, I bet. So what's the next move? What's the next bucket list hunt here?
So bucket list. So I got my red stag this past May. That was a huge bucket list for me. So I got a red stag in New Zealand with my bow, spot and stock. That was hard. So tough. So I got that. But yeah, I think my next bucket list would definitely be my grizzly bear. Um, I am a little nervous because I know grizzlies are a lot more they will attack you a lot more than a bear would, you know. They're
Right.
more aggressive. But I'm definitely that's what my bucket list is. That's my next adventure. I'm gonna go to Kansas this September, which is my
Mhm.
next big trip to shoot a whitetail. So do some duck hunting down there. Love whitetail hunting. Love waterfowl hunting too. So those are my favorite go-tos. But yeah, grizzly bear. That's what I really want to do next.
That's awesome. Have you looked into where you're gonna go? Are you gonna do Alaska or
Alaska. It'd be
yeah,
Alaska. Yeah. My
that's
dad and
awesome.
I, maybe my brother. Sorry, there's a fly running around.
That's all right.
I'm like, whoa. Yeah, that's my next one though.
Wow, that's gonna be a hell of a trip for sure. Um, so you're saying you got these plans for hunting coming up, and you just graduated college. So what is your future path here? I know we talked about it a little bit, and you're starting this YouTube venture. It's really impressive what you've done in the outdoor industry so far. Is that something you plan to continue to pursue, or
Yeah, so honestly, from the get-go, like I went and got my BSN, so a nursing degree, and I want to, become a registered nurse. I do plan on working in a small hospital around about 2 hours from my hometown on ICU. So gotta pay my student loans. I'm a neural. Like I gotta get some kind of income. That I can pay off that first. But yeah, I'm starting my YouTube next week. I am gonna head to start filming for a show on the outdoor channel. So that's exciting. And I'm just gonna honestly just, keep up with so YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, just kind of be really interactive with that because I have graduated. So it is time for me to finally be able to travel a lot more because in college, it's college, it's
yeah?
tough. Hunter, like you
Oh,
gotta
it's so tough.
study your butt off. Like you can't just be like, okay, I'm gonna leave for a week.
As much as I always wanted to do that, I seem to,
Yeah.
stay in and study.
Yeah.
Um,
One time
so
I did skip a class and my professor was like, so it was opening day of deer season. You leave for a reason?
yeah, same thing happened to me. It was like, opening day we don't get off, so I was like, all right, well, I have one class and I know we ain't doing anything there today, so I think I'm just gonna go hunting. I'll catch it if I can make it. Well, I had deer all around me. It's like, well, I ain't leaving. So Professor Emo was like, "You hunting?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm so sick. I'm so sorry."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. See, I went to like a college where there was no hunters. A few, obviously, but there's a few. But yeah, all my professors like, okay, that's the hunting girl. Some are like, oh, and
so
others
funny.
like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It just so lucked out that me and my roommate were both into hunting and we got some property to hunt about 10 minutes from campus. So we ended up taking some really nice deer off of there. I shot a really nice buck and we kind of lived off of wild game for about a year, which was really an experience. And ever since then, I think I kind of want to try to do that like every year is just kind of make my diet based off of the animals I harvest and stuff, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
our freezer is filled. That's what we do. I mean, we have plenty of meat. We never go to the store for it. It's always right back there. And it's like, elk,
Yeah.
bear for my dad, beef, like literally everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have so much stuff that we just have people bring in, we have people's I mean, get our
Yeah.
meat already and we just keep it in our freezer for all year. Like it's our
That's so
duck,
awesome.
our deer, or venison, not beef, sorry.
Yeah.
Venison, it's great.
Oh, it's the way to go for sure. And when you have people over and stuff, it's just like, you always have something there ready and you can prepare these fabulous meals for these people and like really give them something, a treat, especially if they're not a hunter or a fisherman or, exposed to the outdoors. Then it's just a great way to like, maybe get them to want to try it too as well. So I really
Yeah,
try my best to do that. What's
yeah.
this show you have coming up for the outdoor channel? Is that something you can talk about or?
So we'll talk about it because I'm sure it'll be fine. But it's called Viral Outdoors. So me and Matt Busbice are hosting this. It's kind of like a spinoff of if you've ever seen Ridiculousness. It's
Yeah.
already been through the first season. which is awesome. So I'm joining second season, super excited. Just gonna co-host with Matt Busbis and just show like a bunch of either funny, like awesome, like really cool, videos of people shooting stuff, just being outside. So I'm super excited about it. If anybody even has any cool videos, Hunter, if you have any cool videos, send them to me because
Yeah.
I mean, we love to expose that kind of thing. Like if somebody wants to get their name out there, like look at this epic video, like footage I shot of me killing this deer or
Right.
shooting this
This
fish or catching something.
That's really awesome. That's really gonna be a great thing. You're gonna be the best co-host for sure. This
Oh,
is
I
gonna
hope.
be awesome to see you guys up there doing that. Definitely excited for that. So, guys, put that one in the calendar and be on the look for that. That's something really, really in the works for you, and that's gonna be great.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. I know it's gonna be awesome. Like Matt's a great guy. The team's great. So definitely be prepared to be watching that. Season 2 is coming out.
All right, we'll be ready. So I know we're running down on time here, so I want to ask you a few more questions. Um, So, Sydnie, for you, like, what is the value of hunting? I know you're so passionate about it, but when it comes down to hunting, like, what makes it so special to you that it's something you want to do every day and also get people involved into it?
So hunting is like not just hunting to me, it's like the whole aspect of the outdoors is just kind of like I like to think of it as like my place to hide. I get away. Like I struggle with a lot of anxiety sometimes and I will just, throw my things in my truck and just head to the farm by myself and just kind of sit out there, throw my line in the water, go check out the food plots, go check out the deer. It's just like the beauty of it all. I mean, hunters, like we have put so much money into, conservation.
Right,
Just like you admire the animals, you're passionate about the animals, you care for the animals, you want to make sure they're healthy. It's just a place where you get away and it's like so beautiful. It's something that like the adrenaline behind it all, like if you shoot an animal, it's like, oh my gosh, I have put my hardest work into there, I'm so passionate, that adrenaline of like, oh my goodness, I did it.
yeah,
And then you just fall in love with it. You just fall in love with the whole thing, waking up in the morning, spending time with your family, your friends, not even going to the duck blind, not even shooting a single bird or seeing a single bird, but like you're hanging out with your friends, you're hanging out with your buddies, you're laughing, you're just outside. People don't understand, it's just not about shooting an animal.
right. That's
There's
something me and David
so
talked
much more
about
to it.
that's something me and David talked about on our last episode, whereas like hunting so much more than just everyone has this perception that it's just killing an animal. And really it's like the experiences that lead up to the kill that really make it worthwhile and what makes me so obsessed about it. And like you were saying, it's really my place to go escape and like really just like unplug for a little bit from the craziness of life, especially in college. I realized like the
Yeah.
outdoors is like my go-to to get away.
You get away from social media. You get
Right.
away, from, yeah, like when I was in college, you get away from your friends. You can get away from your family. If you're in a fight, I'm going to the deer blind. I'm gonna go sit out there. If I don't even shoot anything, I don't even care. I'm just gonna go out there and you just see, you see so much. You can think, you can relax. It's like there's nothing out there, but it's the environment. It's what God made. Like you see the beauty behind everything. Mother Nature's magnificent, and
Right.
you just gotta kind of respect the animals. You respect the environment. As a hunter, you're just so much more than just somebody who kills things.
Exactly. And if we're, I think you just posted is it on your Instagram still, that little commercial that you shot about like getting
Yeah,
away in the
it
outdoors?
was a little clip. I just
Yeah.
threw Presley's under there because Presley's outdoor. They're my favorite people. I love them, so I threw their little logo behind it because they're great people.
Yeah, absolutely. But I thought that really hit home. So if you guys are trying to figure out what we're talking about, go to Sydney's page, go watch the video that has a little Presley Outdoors thing in it, and you'll see like what the outdoors really means to like her and so many other hunters and outdoorsmen.
Yeah, and it's important, just like Hunter. doing the flying fishing thing, like you would agree, it's just important to get people out there to see that hunting, I mean, is more than just killing a creature, it's
Exactly.
not even killing, then you respectfully, harvest your animal. I mean, this whole thing,
Provided food for my entire college career.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it provides us food. I mean, you, it's just so much more. I'm so passionate behind it, and I love it. It just you are so passionate when you become a hunter, and you even step foot for the first time. You're like, okay, this is what it's about. You
Exactly.
respect it.
And
Respect.
it was just like you really do respect it, like, and that was like weird for me. I was talking to my cousin the other day, and she's so like anti outdoors, and I had this best conversation with her where we were talking. She's like, I was explaining to her like, oh yeah, like, my goal is to like maybe move west and like live off of elk and like do this whole elk hunting thing. And she's like, well, what happens when you like get an animal and what's it like? And like I showed her like the whole process of like field to table, and she was like, I think I might go with you just to experience it. I'm like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you should just come
Yeah.
and you can see.
Yeah, I mean, like, and that's why as hunters, when you're trying to shoot an animal, especially like I shoot with my bow, you practice. You practice a lot because you want to make that perfect shot. The last thing you want to do is harm an animal and make them wounded. Last thing, and sometimes it happens and it makes us sick to our stomach, but that's not what you want. Like you practice, when you shoot your big bucks too, Hunter, and just like
Oh
we
yeah,
practice for a reason. We don't want the wound of the animal. When we want to make that perfect heart or double lung shot, and then I mean,
that's like when summer comes, I'm out there. I try to shoot once a day and really just like hone in, try different shots, different angles, and like I don't think people really realize like the amount of work and preparation that goes into archery hunting alone. You
yeah.
know, it's
I posted a picture, and it was like me holding like a bag of bass,
yeah.
and
Oh
all the
yeah,
people were like, "What the heck? Why are you keeping all the bass?" And like, okay, that's when the education comes in, where like management is so important. All of those bass were stunted; they weren't getting any bigger. It's because the lake was so overpopulated. Because for so long we wouldn't really allow a lot of people to keep the bass because we want to make them grow.
right.
But now it's the point where the bass, bass eat all day long, and they were so overgrown that they were stunted in the pond. And so it's so important for management to, any pond, any people that like to fish,
You
it's about
right.
ecosystem. You have to manage your property, especially private properties. Otherwise, they'll be overpopulated and it'll just ruin the pond.
And that's why we need outdoorsmen, hunters, and fishers to like, that's why we are here to do that conservation piece and maintain our ecosystems and stuff. And I'm sure there's so many people on there just like hating on the idea that you just pulled all these bass out.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, people are hating on a lot of hunters nowadays, just talking about shooting an animal. But yeah, like exactly what you said. We're managing our land. I mean, in Illinois, we can shoot, many does, but you only get $2 a year.
wow, you get $2. We only get one here in
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
really? Yeah, we get
Yeah.
two. You get one. I mean, it's about management. Like, you can get in big trouble too. Like if everybody knows who's probably listening to this that you do get in big trouble if you don't have a tag or if you don't properly take care of the deer that you have
Yeah.
possessed. So yeah, I know. I mean, there's so much to go into it, and it's awesome because we do take care of our land as hunters and conservationists.
Maintain these ecosystems for the animals that we care about.
Yeah, exactly.
But Sydnie, I know, like I said, you got things to do. You're a busy lady. So I wanted to ask you, I think it's really important. I try to ask all the people I have on that are big influencers and people that have done great things in the outdoors in life. Do you do anything to help you find success in the outdoors and in your life in general?
So I try to do routines. I'm not I'm very spontaneous. I'm the most spontaneous person, and honestly, I love that about like being successful in life. I feel like I am not like, okay, I gotta do this, this, this. If something comes up, okay, I'm there. I try to take every chance like that life gives me and just run with it, even the
Yeah.
smallest little things, just do it. And like the outdoors, to be successful, honestly, like with fishing, like I'm a self-taught fisherman pretty much. I mean,
Really?
obviously like crappie fishing, like I grew up, that's what my grandpa and my dad loved to do. But like bass fishing and any other type of fishing, you know, I've like honestly I YouTube things all the time. I look at it. If I see a post on somebody talking about it on Instagram, I'll check out their posts, kind of see what they say. Like I learn, you know, I like to educate people and educate myself. So I think that the most important thing about like hunting in the outdoors is like learn something every day. And it's important to be, you know, optimistic and be open to having people teach you things, even if you're hard headed. Because I'm hard headed and I
Right.
don't like it when people tell me things that like, oh, you shouldn't do it that way, do it a different way. You know, even somebody sends me a message like, hey, Sid, like, do you know, like you can do this instead of this, or maybe you should do it that way. You know, I'll listen because
Right.
it's important to learn. And, you know, I practice a lot with my bow and bow fishing. I love, like I've said in the past, and practice makes perfect. I was so bad when I first started bow fishing.
Yeah.
I still liked it, but I was not as good as I am today. And that's because I have practice a ton because
Hmm.
I've had opportunities, which is great. But like in life, if the one advice, you know, take every chance given and run with it. Give it 110%, how small or how big, because I feel like the small things lead to the big things. And I've seen that, you know, in the outdoors and giving different opportunities. Like
Right.
I've taken each thing to heart. And
Absolutely. I
yeah,
think that's
so
really missed too. Just like in our generation, in our society in general, just because like everyone's on their phones, everyone's so tuned into like medias that we're just so often the small things are overlooked, and that's what's got me the farthest in life is like these small little things that I wouldn't think anything of led me to like the best connections and the best things that
yeah,
help me bring success to my life and stuff
yeah.
like that.
And like talking about social media, it's like I think it's especially for like our generation, not so much the older generation because they've, you know, they grew up with it, but like don't be like if you love the outdoors and you want to go fishing and you want to go hunting, any type of hunting, don't be on your phone all the time. Kind of take it in, you know, look around
Right.
your surrounding. Like if you're with your dad, if you're with your mom, if you're with, you know, your best girlfriends, guy friends, enjoy it. Hang out with them, you know, take it all in, take in the, you know, the atmosphere of it all. Because I remember, you know, when I was in high school, I would sometimes get, you know, consumed and like, oh, I'm gonna take a Snapchat, gonna do, you know, all these kind of things.
Yeah.
It's like just take it in. Like I've now learned like when I go fishing, half the time I don't even have my phone with me. It's in the truck or at my house. I enjoy
Right.
it. I just try to relax. Like
That's really like what I do as well is try when I try to get outdoors, that's like why I'm out there unless I'm doing a long hunt, then maybe I'll be on my phone or something, to pass some time by in the tree stand. But I'm really big into photography and like trying to get people into the outdoors. So I think that's a great way to do it. And I,
oh my
have
goodness,
my phone take some photos and
I
stuff.
wish I could do photography. I mean, on my phone, I think I'm a photographer, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But I think people who do photography, oh my goodness, I watch some of their little short videos too. I just like goosebumps. You know, even the best shot just gives me the best
Yeah.
goosebumps. I think that's so awesome. I love looking at different, you know, wildlife or like, you know, like just, oh, you can hear like, oh, I don't know. It's just so cool. I love it.
Yeah, me too. And it's just like, I don't know, I try my best to do it. I'm not the best. I just have my iPhone and everything. And I just think it comes down to is like, like we were saying, it's just like kind of find, your passion and stuff. And like if you're into photography, that's awesome. And like I like to see that kind of stuff. But if
Yeah,
some people aren't outdoorsmen and women, like they like to see your content and stuff as well.
yeah. I mean, if you're not like a big hunter either, like I think it's so cool to see people, you know, like people who do video, you know, who film, who
Yeah.
do photography, they don't get enough credit. Like,
No, they don't at all. I
no,
understand like what goes into that now. I'm just like, oh my god, like I like totally underestimated like this
like
entire thing.
people, yeah, I mean, it's hard. And people who know how to work those camera, man, they're like, it's insane. Props to them because they have the best job too, and or best hobby. Because I wish I could be like as good as them to do
Oh
photography
yeah, me
and
too.
all the things.
Would have a phenomenal YouTube channel if I could, have those skills and stuff. But I
My
just getting into the YouTube as well and stuff. So for those listening, check it out. I'm gonna be releasing some outdoor content there here soon. as far as like my podcasts go, you know. So I'm excited for that. So what's about this bow fishing? Like we've been talking about bow fishing in and out of today's episode, and a lot of people probably have no idea what bow fishing is. Um, and like what got you into that? Was it your family or?
So, yeah, I mean, just because like I live close to the Illinois River, and if anybody's seen like silver carp, they jump out of the water.
Oh, yep,
I
yep.
got hit in the chest when I was 8 years old and flew off the back of the boat. I had a life jacket on, thank goodness.
Really?
I mean, that
Holy
current can
shot.
just suck you under. It's dangerous, you know. But so just growing up, and then my brother, yeah, my younger brother, loves boat fishing too. He's big into it, but just kind of I go on my own too a lot. And I think these past couple years, especially like in high school, starting in high school, I got really into boat fishing.
Hmm.
Just because, like I said, at the beginning when I was in like middle school, younger, I wasn't the best, bow fisher, archer. I wasn't that good at it.
Right.
Um, the more I done it, the better I got. And now I like to say that I am pretty decent at bow fishing, so I enjoy it a lot more. I
Right.
enjoy a whole bunch, and it's fun. Just it's so much fun. If you haven't bow fished, go
I've
get a
never
bow.
bow
It can,
fished ever.
honestly, go get a. Yeah, it's what we talked about. You've never done it.
Yeah.
Go get an old bow. It doesn't matter what kind of bow. It's gonna be like a really cheap bow, and just put a reel. Any type of reel on it.
Hmm.
Well, like a bow fishing reel, I should say.
Right. So you go
I shoot a muzzy.
get a setup, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use a muzzy setup, and I mean, just try it out. You shoot your fish, and then I like bow fishing because you can play music on the back of your boat. You're with your friends. You got lights on at night, and you just shoot a bunch of fish. Sometimes, obviously, hunting goes, you don't see anything,
Right.
but it's fun. And then like the silvers, they jump out of the water. It's so fun because they'll smack your guy, like you'll smack a guy or girl in the face, get a black eye. That's happened
Really?
multiple
Holy shit.
times. One of the silvers just smacked my dad in the face, knocked him out. His brand new glasses flew in the water. His new
Really?
muzzy reel, and it was like, it wasn't funny. It was funny. Actually, he was okay,
Oh
but
my God, that's insane.
yeah, yeah, like it's fun. I enjoy it just because it's more kind of all right. You can hang out, you can talk.
Yeah.
Deer hunting, you can't really do that. Duck hunting, you can, but I like it because it's like you're on the move.
And
It's
it's
like
just
fast.
really active. It's
Yeah,
really fast paced.
it's
Yeah.
fast. I like that a lot.
I really gotta like do this here soon.
I'm really like one thing to the next. I had my
So
chances, my
like when you shoot a fish, like you have a reel on your bow, right? This is how the setup is, and then you shoot a fish. Like, does it take line out, or is it just like you just
yeah.
reeled? So is it just like a hybrid, or
So my muzzy, I shoot an Oneida. So
yeah,
Oneida Phoenix. I shoot with my for hunting too, but I shoot an Oneida to bow fish. And I recommend anybody listening, if you want to get into bow fishing, Oneidas are the way to go. But I have a muzzy set up, and the muzzy. So there's two different types. It has like a little clicker,
yeah,
or it's like I think it's like a push clicker, or like a little, how would I say, like a dial, maybe like you kind of
yeah, a dial.
anyways, so for like the reels, it's like an on and off button. On the the line goes out. If you start reeling,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it
yeah,
stops. So either way, like at the dial, you just go back and forth. It's super easy to get. I'm not the best
yeah.
at describing it,
So
but
like the fish that you shoot, do you eat them or like
yeah,
you?
yep, yeah.
Yep.
So we flam usually right on the boat, and then just put them, bring a freezer or a freezer,
Oh wow, what's the biggest fish you shot?
I think the biggest fish I've shot was my brother and I shot an alligator gar when we were really young. I don't even know. I was probably 10 maybe.
Oh
200,
wow.
it was 227 pounds. That was
Oh
cool.
my God.
I shot a cobia.
Oh
That
yeah, Kobe are
was
awesome.
really, really cool. But
Good eating too.
yeah, I don't know. I shot stingray before. That was cool. My favorite, I mean, I love shooting grass carp. Awesome.
Cool to catch on the fly rod, what I was telling you about.
Oh
Can't believe
yeah,
you shoot all these cool fish. I'm like, no, you gotta go fly fishing for them. Like, it's so much fun.
because you're like, oh my god, your probably arms want to like break
Oh
after.
my God. Yeah, it's like hooking into a saltwater fish. It's like your whole it's a fight for at least 30 minutes. Like it's
I
something.
I caught a striper bass, never have before, and I did in Missouri. And my arms, I'm like, holy crap, they're fighting so hard.
Yeah, they're a really awesome fish to catch and target. I caught a few of them before up in college, and like, damn, they're a hell of a fish to catch.
Yeah, they take off, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe I'll have to go bow fishing sometime, and I'm telling you, you gotta try out fly fishing here soon. I know it's like hunting's your forte, but fly fishing, it's really awesome. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah, I need to try it. I mean, nobody really does that in Illinois very often. So I'm gonna have to try it sometime. I don't know when, but I will have to try
All
it.
right, put it on the bucket list for sure.
On the bucket list. Just checked on there.
Good, good. My sister really got big into it, and like that's all she does anymore is just fly fishing. I think she'd probably rather do that over hunting now. She likes it so much.
Really. And my brother both fishing over everything. He likes the waterfowl hunt too, mostly geese. But my younger brother, oh my goodness, put a bow in his hand. He's on the river by it with all his buddies all the time.
Oh wow, I bet.
And spear fishing, spear hunting. He loves that. Like for fish.
Yeah.
He loves it with a spear gun.
Do you ever go spear fishing like that?
No, well, I have, but when I was in high school and I was too weak to pull back the spear gun. There wasn't a proper one for me, so.
No, that's awful.
I mean, it kind of freaks me out. Just like mostly murky water. Like, okay, this is kind of like scary.
Or in the ocean too. It's like you got to worry about sharks and other stuff like swimming around.
That freaks me out. I don't know why, but it freaks me out.
Out of all things that you've done, it's spearfishing that freaks you out.
I've watched way too many scary movies with sharks.
Yeah, I don't. Well, so I was out in Florida last year. We were fishing. Did some awesome deep sea fishing. We were out like 35 miles off the Gulf Coast, and so dang hot. So we're like, hey, like go ahead, jump in. So we jumped in. As soon as we got out, I shit you not, there was like 2 huge tiger sharks that came up underneath the boat.
Oh my gosh!
They were almost as big as the boat. I was like, okay, I'm never jumping in again.
I would have freaked out.
Oh, I did. It was like, I was like, well, yep, I guess I got lucky there. Like, live and learn, I guess.
Yeah, that's sketchy. Not my cup of tea.
No, definitely not mine either. Would you rather fish or hunt compared to like what you like to do most? What a question.
Such a hard question. If I could hunt the rest of my life or fish the rest of my life? I don't know, honestly. I mean, every single
I think like everything's different with each one. It's so hard to tell, you know.
Deer hunting's so slow paced. Or it could be fast paced if you make it, you know, but it's so much slower than fishing, bow fishing. But I don't know. I don't think I could ever like not go shoot my bow. Like bow hunting, I love it.
That's
it's
awesome.
Just so like catching a fish is one thing. Catching a big fish, it's like holy crap! I caught this, 7-8 pound bass. Like this is insane. But shooting a big buck that you've been chasing and just been like hoping for all season, you know the feeling.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I did it!
Everything comes together.
I want to cry and jump up and down and like, okay, I don't care what happens the next couple days. I shot this book.
Right. You soak it in, enjoy the moment, look back on the pictures and everything.
So
based off of that, like, do you have a specific like moment hunting or memory that's like means the most to you, the most cherishable?
So hunting.
I feel like every hunter has like that one like hunt that they can just remember. That's something like hunting I realized too, is like I can remember like hunts from when I was little. It's like it just happened yesterday, like with my dad and stuff.
Yeah. I remember one that's like really like into my head that was recent was when I was in New Zealand, and Sika bucks are so hard to shoot. So hard. And I love a challenge, and my dad really loves a challenge.
Yeah.
And my dad and I wanted me to kill the Sika for so long. I mean, we were there for, I don't remember if it was like 2 weeks or.
Wow.
And they're hard. And we spot and stalked this one. And I'm sweating. We're running. We're trying so hard to be quiet. And I finally shot him. And I just like fell backwards. Like, I
can't believe it.
I did it. But yeah, or there's just so many. I'm also thinking of a time I shot my whitetail and it was freezing cold and shot him at 45 yards and I was freezing. I thought I was going to have hypothermia and
Really?
my dad's face, he's just like said it all. My dad loves it when like my family succeeds, you know. He could
Hmm.
care less if he had the whole year, just but like having that moment with him is just so awesome.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really something. And I think we've both been so fortunate to have like families that got us involved in the outdoors like such a young age, and we have that similarity there. And like a lot of my favorite memories revolve around just like me and my family like being in the outdoors, and being so young. What was that like for you? Like what was it like growing up in this like hunting household, especially with your dad? If you don't know, Tim Wells is this famous hunting guy who takes hunting to like a whole nother level, and he really like tunes into like what hunting used to be, and like it's
Yeah.
really something to see his stuff. So what was that like for you?
You know, my dad's just my dad. He's a normal guy to me. And it's just like
Yeah,
people are like, oh my goodness, Tim Wells. But like I mean, I've had so many great like memories just growing up. Just like I
I
live on a
bet.
pond. So I remember shooting my first wood duck when I was 10 on my 10th birthday. He's like, Sydney, you want to go
Wow.
green? And I was like, yeah. And it was double banded with $100 reward
What a duck to kill.
on my
Wow.
10th birthday. And it's mounted right above me. But I seriously, like just growing up with it, it's just so normal to me. You
Right, it
know,
was normal for
honestly,
me as well. And then
yeah,
like I
it's
went
like
to
it's
school,
so
I'm like, everyone else doesn't do this. Like,
yeah. It's like, well, I'm from a small town. Everybody loves to hunt. Everybody loves to
yeah.
fish. I mean, and it's normal. And you go off to college, you're like, oh my goodness, this is a lot different. Or people are like, why are you going home again? You need to stop going home. And then making
Yeah.
me feel guilty. And I'm like, well, I can't hunt when I'm there. Like,
Here, right.
yeah, like I want to go home. Like I want to do this. This is what I love. This is my passion. My friends would get so mad at me, but they just didn't understand.
Right. And there's so much tradition behind it too. I think like I never missed a first day of like deer season without like being without my dad or my sister, like in the stand without one of them. And like college games, like, yep, I guess I ain't making it home. Like I have
Oh, I'm
class.
so sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my grandpa, oh my goodness, my grandpa always calls me. Both my grandpas like to fish and hunt, and my grandpa Dave would be like, Sid, what are you doing? Do you want to go shoot some ducks? I'm like, okay. So
No
me and my
way.
grandpa would just go out, you know, and just so much fun, or go frogging.
Yeah.
Or,
Wow. Frogging. Never won frog. I'm sure that's like
oh, it's
an
so much fun,
experience.
dude. Frog legs are the best. But like, or like my grandpa Buck would go fishing. You know, he'd just be outside fishing. I'd come and go fishing with him. And my cousins, I love to do all this. So it's just like it's a family affair. We all love it. We all grew up doing it, and
Yeah.
it's just normal for me. And I don't know what I would do without it. It's not just a hobby. It's my life. I genuinely enjoy it, and I'm just so grateful that people love to get to know me and just kind of see what I'm doing.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. So if you don't haven't, like I said, if they haven't people listening followed Sydney yet, make sure you do go follow her and like see what the outdoors is like and get a glimpse into her life, because she's really a great advocate for the sport of the outdoors and hunting and fishing. But Sydney, I think we're getting down to the time where I do this thing at the end of the podcast here, and I have a question for you. It's called Pass It On. So, hunting means a lot to me. It's been passed on to me. It's been passed on to you. Well, now it's your turn. It's your end of your days. You get to pass two things on. And you have to write it down. You have to put your bow away, gun away. Like, this is it. You're done. Um, what has life taught you? And what has the outdoors taught you?
What has life taught me? Failure is evident. It's evident. Oh, failure is bound to happen to anybody.
Right.
I think life has taught me that it's okay not to succeed. Nobody tries at something to fail, but it's going to happen, through the outdoors, through, your job, through fail a test, anything. Like it's bound to happen. And I think it's super important to realize that does not define who you are. It just makes you more resilient and more determined, and it makes you it truly does make you a better person. God always, makes something happen for reasons, for something better to fall into its place.
Absolutely. Makes you a
So
stronger person.
Yeah, I think it's super important for everybody to realize that, God always has a plan, and failure is bound to happen. So you can't dwell on that. You just need to come out. You can sit there for 5-10 minutes and be like, okay, this happened. I'm very upset about it. Cry about it, laugh about it, do whatever you need to do to grieve, and then get past it. Life
Then
goes
move
on.
on.
You only live one life.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You only get one chance, you only get one life, and make the best of it. And like Sydnie says, failure's going to happen. And if you can fail fast and get up faster, then you're moving forward instead of backwards.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing that I've learned. I've had plenty of tears. So, you just
Yeah.
got to keep going. It's okay to dwell on it, but keep going. And the outdoors it's taught me so many things. It's taught me, to be the person I am. You be kind, you be resilient, you respect people, and you respect nature. You can't come into it, trying to, you just got to, respect life.
Respect
You
life. Yeah,
respect life,
absolutely.
like every human being, every creature, everything. You just got to respect it. That's my thing. That's my
I love that.
deal.
That's so awesome. What a good way to end today's podcast. Respect life, guys, and you'll get far in life. Thank you, Sydnie, so much for those messages, coming on, sharing some of your story. You have so much inspiration, so much enthusiasm. I'm so excited, to have you on here, and I'm looking forward to having you back on, and we'll definitely have some more conversations. And you're doing great things out there in industry. So if you haven't, go follow Sydnie Wells. Make sure you subscribe here wherever you're listening to the Outdoors Greatest Podcast. Go over to my Instagram, Hunter Klobuchar. Follow me there. You'll see updates on the podcast and my business that we're going to be launching soon. What a good time, Sydnie. So much fun. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Hunter. I had the best time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll catch you soon, and we'll get you back on here in the future. Looking forward to it.
Sounds great.
This was an episode of the Outdoors Greatest Podcast.